My Junebug. Hi, YouTube. So it's Alicia. Um, I am coming to YouTube because when I go to Facebook, everybody looks at me and talks crap about me and talks crap to me as if I have a mental illness. However, they're all convinced that I'm a heinous criminal. But heinous criminals, they believe the BS lies and the deceit that's taking place in this situation and in my life. So my life isn't what it looks like, okay? I'm being painted out to be a child molester by a child molester, by child molesters who have turned themselves into child molesters and very heinous criminals for a dollar amount to profit off of sex trafficking and what is now torture in my own home. I'm not standing for you, girl. Yes, I'm saying your name on the internet. Yes, hit me with a lawsuit. Yes, try to. Go ahead. Do your best work. But you're not putting me in the penitentiary at all because I'm not taking the blame for your crimes. You, being a deranged psychopath and forming a cult and turning people against me to literally impersonate me is ridiculous. I'm sorry that you can't walk comfortably in your own shoes. I'm sorry that I'm having to come to the internet like this. Like I shouldn't be having to, but law enforcement is not doing anything when it comes to investigating. Yes. No, actually it is. Okay, um yeah, I'm being tortured in my own home and I'm fed up with it because the people that are portraying that I have a mental illness are the same people who are doing what they're doing to me. So it's a mentally ill blame game here that we're playing because people want to point fingers. When you got one finger pointed at you, you got that many pointing back at you. People want to point fingers at me because one person didn't like me and she literally went out of her way to portray me while she was committing a very heinous, disgusting crime. Okay, so I'm not a child molester. I will say that like that. I'm not the child molester. I'm being painted out to be a child molester by women who are literally doing the most deranged things and blaming it on me. Okay, far from it. So I will say this human teleportation, whether you know what it is or not, and if you do, chalk it up to be a mental illness if you want. It's not. I give you my word. It's not a mental illness. Human teleportation, everyone, does in fact exist. And it is being utilized by heinous criminals versus being created in a science lab by a physicist, by a professor, by someone who discovered it and then patented it or was going to utilize it and then let the world know. There is no commercials. There is no pay-per-click ad space. There's no website space. There's no on-air space. There's not a brick and mortar. Okay? Why? Because it's meant to torture someone and it's meant to prevent traffickers and criminals on a higher level than just trafficking to continue walking free. These people are disturbing my space and fully intend on they're literally trying to get me to, they're trying to torture me to suicide. And there happens to be people involved in this situation, my support system, who are literally being tortured, their lives are being wasted, and they're being harmed and hurt in very bad ways. And nobody wants to look into it because money talks. Well, so do I. So I'm coming to the internet, and yes, I stated a name in the caption because this girl is trying to take over my entire life in my home and tell me I don't have the legal right to work anymore. Tell me I'm a willing sex slave. Tell the world I'm a willing sex slave, and take over my house and my life and own me. No, that's not going to happen. I'm not stopping because y'all are harming children. Y'all are selling children. I have a problem with that. A very big problem with that. When I can't even pay my bills because somebody wants to go to my job with stolen documentation of my government ID, my social, and my birth certificate, falsify that documentation, and then take it to my job site to a manager and everyone there wearing sackcloth at that and taking it and saying I'm impersonating Jesus Christ because the documentation was created to say Jesus Christ. Um, that's very bizarre to me, and I am not the one with the mental illness. Okay, so the mental illness has been proven that it's not a mental illness by mental evaluations. Okay, I'm gonna keep posting about this until I figure out how to stop what is taking place. And human teleportation has in fact been discovered, and it is in fact being utilized by criminals in my life who are trafficking criminals, trafficking people. Okay, so sex trafficking is what this is about. My home being painted out to be a torture chamber because these people are actually legitimately torturing people underground, but also, too, actually legitimately bringing people into my home when I'm gone and torturing people into my home and making it like portraying it to be as if I'm torturing people in my home. And there is physical evidence and DNA that have been discovered. So the human teleportation is what is being utilized to get into my home, into my life. And I'm very frustrated with it. So yes, I'm stating names because at this point, there are some very sick, disgusting crimes taking place. My freedom is on the line. Other people's freedom is on the line. And other people's lives are on the line. Children. So, yes, I took to the internet. Yes, I said a name. I'm not worried about defamation of character. And I'm not worried about going to the penitentiary myself. But I'm worried about my freedom and my peace of mind and my own privacy in my own home. Because they have stolen a phone, a SIM card, and I'm being told that there's child pornography being made and being sent out. I have women literally telling me and shouting that they're doing the most sick, disturbing things. I won't state them here. But yeah, I don't like having to come to the internet like this. This is not who I want to be. And my name to be painted out to be a child molester because people want to torture me so they can live a life of luxury. So that's all I'm going to say about that. I'm going to upload some videos because I need to put them somewhere. But I don't know how long I'll leave them public because I don't want this on my channel. I'm trying to utilize my channel for other things. However, these people are trying to utilize my body and prevent me from ever working or making a dollar ever again. And that's not okay. I am not a willing sex slave, everybody. I'm not a willing sex slave. Okay? There it is. Alicia McFadden is not a willing sex slave. Now, for whatever reason, this girl and these people are shouting this man's name, Ethan Taylor. Like, I'm certain he's not a willing sex slave either. So no matter what his relationship is to me, what if he's even a part of my life, I don't even know. But I just know that they're shouting this man's name, they're impersonating people, and they're literally disturbing the peace by utilizing human teleportation. My neighborhood watch has come to me. My neighborhood's being disturbed. So yes, human teleportation actually does exist. It just wasn't created by anybody as such as a scientist or a physicist. So yes, no, I don't have a mental illness. Far from it. I'm not deaf, dumb, blind, stupid, special ed. I can do anything and everything I try to put my mind to, but that's the problem. This girl is jealous of who I can be and who I'm trying to be, my goals, dreams, and ambitions. And she and some family members of mine have formed a cult to torture me in my own home. Because apparently that's what was taking place in my last neighborhood. That were all the strange things that I was noticing, all the weird, bizarre things that I was noticing, the camouflage like things, the hidden disguise things, my house, my bathtub stopper turning into a freaking straw plug sticking out of the wall, like my bathroom cabinets underneath turning into what looked like paper mache, I think, and like all these weird, disturbing things that were like, what the heck is happening? Well, here's a pattern happening in my new home also. So I'm not down for that. I don't have time for somebody to control my life, claim that I'm a willing sex slave, and shout through my neighborhood and disturb my neighborhood in the middle of the night and every night all night long. So, yes, in fact, human teleportation is real. And this cult, I am not stopping. Scout's honor. Or I give you my word. I'm not going to be the one lying under oath on a stand. I'm not shutting up until I'm getting justice for these children, peace and quiet in my home, and the people who have had my back and have my back can go about living their lives. Okay? So there's that. I kept it very calm, cool, and collective. I think I did say her name for a reason because this girl is in my inbox acting like I'm obsessed with her. She's telling the world that I'm obsessed with her. She's portraying to be a judge, portraying to be me, portraying to be all these things, and then pointing me out to be a child molester. And I'm not okay with that. So there's that. Hit me with it if you want to hit me with defamation of character or whatever, but you know who you are. I know who you are. Okay? I'm tired of you hiding behind my business plans, my thoughts, my ideas, and who I want to be. I'm not who you want to be. So there's that. Have a safe day, y'all.